Okay, so this is on depression, and according to Johns Hopkins Medicine Mental Health Library in an article on mental health disorder statistics, approximately 9.5% American adults ages 18 and over will suffer from a depressive illness, including major depression. While major depression can develop at any age, the average onset age is mid 20s. Dr. Jerry L. Halverson is a medical director of Rogers Memorial Hospital in West Allis, Wisconsin, and a published author in the Journal of Psychiatry. He explained that young adults with depression are more likely to experience the dysphoric mood, which is a state that may be expressed by patients as sadness, heaviness, numbness, sometimes irritability, and mood swings. They often report a loss of interest and pleasure in their usual activities, difficulty concentrating or loss of energy and motivation with their thinking, and often negatively, frequently with feelings of worthlessness, hopelessness, and helplessness. Symptoms in this age and someone in this age and experiencing these symptoms are not going to be able to cope with the stress of college at age 20 or mid 20s. They're not going to be able to do the assignments or get involved and meet new people. It'd be expected for them to be secluded in their homes or their dorms or wherever they're at because they don't have the energy to go out and do anything really. If they don't go to college, they're not going to have the self-efficacy to think that they can go out and get a job. They're not going to think they'll do well in interviews. They're going to be negative in them and not sell themselves. So they're going to have issues with getting a job. And once they get a job, they're not going to have the energy to be on time, to do the job that's required of them there. And so it's going to be hard for them to sustain a job. And they're always going to think people at the job are out to get them, or not in a paranoid way. They're just going to think they're not doing a good job because they're so negative to themselves. So that's going to be tough for them. So an article in the Annual Review of Clinical Psychology entitled Depression in Older Adults, it states that many studies, but not all, have reported that older adults with late onset depression are more likely to have cognitive defects, especially executive functioning, or more likely to develop dementia. So depression in older adults may present somewhat differently than in younger adults. For example, older adults are less likely to endorse the cognitive affective symptoms of depression, including dysphoria or worthlessness guilt, like younger adults are. The article continues to explain that in older adults, it's more common for sleep disturbance, fatigue, psychomotor retardation, loss of interest in living, and hopelessness about the future may be more prevalent. Subjective complaints and poor memory and concentration are also common among depressed older adults. Slower cognitive processing speed and executive dysfunction are frequent findings in objective testing. So someone in an older adult range that's experienced depression will more likely be mistaken for dementia or simply old age. They may have difficulty with completing their higher level IADL tasks, such as medication management, remembering doctor's appointments, driving if they do, cooking, all the higher level tasks that require a lot of thinking and then acting on them. Such as also problem solving if they need to use a computer or remember to get somewhere out in the community, or something breaks and they feel like they need to try to fix it. Usually they'll want to be secluded and just not even associated with. So older adults may lose interest in their daily care also, such as bathing or oral hygiene, because they just don't feel the need to do it because they just want to be by themselves and they don't want to be around anyone. And they just don't have the energy to do it as well. So when it comes to loss of control over a daily life decision, young adults may lose this because they don't want the control. They just give it up because they don't have the energy or motivation to have the control of their own daily decisions. Whereas older adults may lose this because they no longer have the cognitive ability to make those daily life decisions. They can't just think, oh, I need to do this, this, and this, let's go do it. That cognitive ability is gone for them. So in loss of privacy, young adults are more likely to attempt suicide. And with that being said, at that age, you have a lot more family and friends around, so they're going to not give you the privacy because they're more worried about you. And not just because you're going to commit suicide, but they're going to be more worried that you're not taking care of yourself. You're not paying your bills. You're not in college. You're not going to work. You're not doing your stuff. So they're going to hound you all the time, which is going to relate to losing privacy. Older adults have a tendency to experience loss of privacy because they may have to go into a facility, a nursing home, or move in with family because they're unable to take care of themselves anymore, and it's become a safety hazard. The results are potential roommates, someone having to come in and take care of them, which their personal care and all that stuff just takes away your privacy quickly. Loss of relationship in comparison. So younger adults lose this loss of relationship because they simply don't have the energy or motivation to contribute to any relationship. This causes others to be pushed away and just not even want to engage with them. Older adults may experience loss of relationship because they're unable to remember who their relationships are with. They're unable to be a vital part of that relationship. They may not remember the people. They may not remember to call you. They may not remember a lot of things, and they don't have the energy to do so. And then when it comes down to doing what they actually say they're going to do, they may not have the cognitive ability to do that either. So inability to contribute to family and friends, that kind of goes hand in hand with the last one. But young adults have a cognitive ability. They have the cognitive ability, but they don't have the interest or drive to contribute to family and friend relationships. Whereas older adults just simply may not have the cognitive ability to do that. When it comes to decrease in activity level, younger adults experience this because it takes all their energy just to get out of bed, get dressed, and go do what they have to do to be in this world. Much less engage in some other activity on top of that. They may also be scared to be around others because they may think that everyone's making fun of them, or they're not good at whatever that activity is, and they just don't even want to try. So older adults will experience this because they may not be safe to do the increased activity, which causes them to decrease their activity. They also don't have the energy to get up and complete their daily tasks. So they're more, because they're not moving around a lot, because they're by themselves and they're secluded and they're just sitting around, they're also more prone to broken bones and other issues such as stroke and heart attack, pneumonia, COPD, things like that, because they're not getting their heart rate up or anything like that. So how can we use engagement in occupations to support an older adult's perceived quality of life, satisfaction, and self-worth? So we can do this by first just talking to them. Be fully engaged in what they're saying. Make eye contact and let them know that you're just simply interested in them. This will help build a rapport with the client and talk to them about their life. You could talk to them about what they do like to do. Even if they're super depressed, there's always something that you can find. Their grandkids or what they did before they were depressed, because it might just spark something that they say, oh, well, I can't do that anymore. Well, then you could take that hard task and make it a way that they can do it, which could increase their self-worth and self-confidence and satisfaction in life, because they've now found that one thing that they couldn't do before. Now you've figured out a way to lower the energy it takes, lower the hardness of it, and lower the cognitive functioning it takes to be able to do it. You've made it easier for them. So now they're able to engage in something that's important to them. And this will increase their quality of life, satisfaction, and self-worth. So that's my comparison between younger adults and older adults with depression. Thank you.